bursts.
It's the best thing to do. Get wet.
Blockages.
Lovely. The rain shrunk me wetsuit.
In 120,000 kilometres of underground pipes,
It's just plumbing, but on a massive scale.
serving 7 million people.
Yeah! Like a horror film, isn't it?
These are the heroes
Like porridge, that.
keeping our taps running,
Put it on.
our sewers flowing,
The result? Job's a good one.
and breaking new ground, laying some monster pipe work at one of the UK's largest water companies.
Once you've been baptised in sewage, you're in it for life.
All about the patching grease.
Responding 24/7 to our emergency calls.
United Utilities.
He's got it!
These are the sewer men.
As they say, go big or go home.
No gravy, baby. Just another day in the office, Bob.
Under the rolling hills and wild seas of the northwest lies United Utilities' vast network of sewers and pipes. It keeps around 3 million homes in the region flowing and flushing 365 days a year. Customer Care HQ is on hand 24/7,
Good afternoon, you're through to Michael. Can I take your name, please?
taking 2.5 million calls a year
Have you tried your internal stop tap and it's definitely not restoring your water there?
and sending out the sewer squads to homes in need.
Bit of muck spreading going on, isn't there?
It's morning and a call's come in from a family in crisis.
Thank you for calling. You're through to Kieran. How can I help you today?
I've got a problem, basically. Earlier on in the year, next door had a tree growing into their pipe, and it blocked all the pipes and all the sewage was coming up in my garden.
Yeah.
And he's doing the same again, just because I've got a little girl and I don't want her in the garden.
This sounds like a job for two finely tuned sewage supremos
See what we're up against.
who are always hungry for victory or just hungry.
Gotta get a hot roast beef sandwich with an onion.
Did you just say with no onion?
Beef and onion?
Yeah,
Beef and onion. Oh, 100% onion.
Yeah. Well, you just said no onion. You absolute sicko.
Putting his lunch on hold for the sake of sewering is pro pipe man Ash Walker.
Let's get this done.
And riding shotgun is fellow excrement expert Mick Barton.
We're here, we're here.
And not a moment too soon for homeowner Jess and mum Beryl, who've had an unwanted swimming pool in the backyard.
You could just see it where all the bits have been coming up because it's just all still around the drain and everything. Dirty water like from the washing machine and obviously the tissue. So we've not been going the toilets.
Not only have they been dodging the throne, but the whole yard's been a no-go zone for resident princess daughter Lola.
I've not really been outside because of that.
Ash and Mick need to get this family flushing and flowing again ASAP.
Is this the issue
can you
here?
see
Yeah.
it?
With a previous blockage caused by tree roots invading the pipes, Mick heads straight to the manhole and hits the jackpot.
I can't really smell anything from that. I just smell the trees.
There speaks a hardened sewerman.
You might find you've got a slow build-up of a blockage where the water's been able to carry on through, but the solids are building up. It looks a bit like that. Know a bit more once you start messing with it, depending on thickness.
This steaming pile of backed-up bum gravy needs to be cleared so they can get the camera in and hunt out the real root of the problem.
Gonna get Ash to come round here with the wagon, get the suction on it, see if we can get it moving.
So Ash positions the truck on the other side of the hedge and Mick dangles his hose over the top.
So thick. Full.
Like a giant vacuum cleaner, it sucks up all the stinking sewage. And now the lads send the camera down the pipe to collar the culprit.
Going forward. Cut a bit out there. And it's about 3 metres down. There's some rag, maybe some loose root. Pushing it forward, you know. It's loose. That is root root there, and then that big thing there that looks like a stick. Well, it's a big root.
The customer's suspicions were right. Tree roots have broken through the pipe again, blocking the waste and causing it to back up right through her backyard.
You want it on?
I'm on, yeah.
Coming on, mate.
Time for the lads to blast them with the high-power jets.
You can hear the jets as they're rotating. You can hear them cutting away at the roots.
Firing over 120 litres of water a minute, the jet blasts the wood and wipes to smithereens, so Ash can fish them out.
But you got then the roots that have grown through, and obviously then the bigger root taps turn more fibrous, which then block the sewer. Then you just get all the stuff that wraps in it then, causes your blockage there.
Blockage busted. Now the lads need to see if the roots have left behind any serious damage.
Now we've got it down to a minimum. We'll just camera it down again, just make sure that it's all spot on and clear.
If the pipes sustained fatal injuries, this garden will be facing a major excavation.
This is the moment of truth. Just go for it, Ash. Perfect. Yeah, it's sound.
Clean as a whistle and not a crack in sight. This pipe lives to fight another day. So the lads head round to give owner Jess the good news.
Bit of tree root in there.
Yeah.
So we've cut them out. Now it's all clear and fine.
Oh, thanks,
all right,
Henry.
no problem.
And after giving the backyard a scrub down to make it safe for Lola, these blockage busters are ready to hit the road.
It's that feeling of achievement. It's done. It's done. It's finished. We're going away. We've got no problems to come back to. Customer's happy.
And Mick's not the only one with a spring in his step.
Good.
Every day, the North West sends 3.2 billion litres of fully treated water on a final voyage into rivers and the Irish Sea. And getting it there is a job for titanic tubes known as outfall pipes. Blackpool has got a big one. Stretching over 2 miles out into the Irish Sea, it's longer than 23 Blackpool towers laid end to end. Keeping this underwater pipe maintained and clear of marine debris isn't a job for the faint-hearted. Today, the company's crack team of specialist divers are attempting a seabed scrub-up of the huge pipe, led by supervisor Simon A.D. Davis.
Once we're over the location, we're going to deploy the diver. He'll go down and locate the structure. And once he's located it, we will send him down the jet wash, so he can use a high pressure wash to clean the structure.
This stretch of coast is notorious for strong tides and high winds, so key diver John Lynch has to be ready for anything.
We have to watch for any currents, anything over a knot or so, and you can't swim in that, you can't hold yourself onto a structure. It's amazing how strong current is, especially when you've got all that kit hanging off you. There's a lot of weight, a lot of bulk in that.
They reach the spot to drop anchor. The yellow buoy marks the general area where the outfall pipe's located. But this is a far cry from parking your truck up next to a manhole.
Slight swell, but nothing that we can't cope with. But the visibility will be bad.
The aim is to pull up as close to the outfall pipe as they can. But suddenly the wind's picked up, and skipper Tim's got a job on his hands to steer his craft in.
I mean, we've got a break there, haven't we, yeah?
What depth are we in here, Tim?
2.6 below the hull.
To make things trickier, the seabed is now only 8 feet below them, and the outfall pipe stands at around 7.
We need to anchor to get into a good position, but also make sure we're far enough away that we don't crash into it.
To make the task even harder, the tide starts to change, pushing them closer to the outfall pipe. Until suddenly,
That's it. Oh!
they've hit the pipe.
Oh! Get off! Oh! That's it. Where is it, mate?
No damage was done, but it's too dangerous for the crew and the pipe to keep trying. So they pull out and head back to shore.
We had a combination. It was bad holding ground. The seabed is not good for anchoring. The wind was against the swell, and so it wasn't safe to continue because we couldn't hold our position. So we've stopped operations for the day, and we're going to try again tomorrow.
This underwater pipe scrub up will have to wait. Coming up,
I feel the burn, don't you?
there's fun on the farm,
Call yourself an operator.
Call yourself a road, mate.
and the dive team fights a turning tide.
Supposed to be low water till 3.
To keep the Northwest's movements moving, crews work day and night. A steady flow of foulness sludges through 48,000 miles of pipework. Hidden under homes, roads, and even the most picture postcard scenery. A blockage in the line can mean backed up bogs. So teams need to scour sewers wherever trouble starts to bubble up. Today, that's on a cattle farm near Penrith.
Let's go and get down and dirty in the farmer's field.
Picture right there for it today.
I know. It's going to be like a bog.
Quagmire.
There's none better built to take on a bog full of bog pipes than former world champion kickboxer Stuart Quinn and ex-military man Ian Golding. Today's battle is with a bunged-up sewage pipe that runs beneath this cow field and keeps things flowing for the local village.
Be a nice, dirty, messy job, but we like getting dirty.
But they can't get dirty until they've got in.
Trying to access the field. The manhole we're working on is about 50 metres into the field.
That is surface water and foul water. So it's a combined system. So it does, in heavy weather, it does get a lot of abuse. Hence why we're here cleaning it all out, keep it running.
The lads' monster truck would churn up the grass and tick off the farmer. So they've promised to keep it on the sidelines and lug all their kit out to the sewer. This rural rendezvous calls for some extra special equipment.
Not the best of weather, but it's one of them things.
So fella sewerman Neil Golightly and top brass Mark Johnson have joined them on site.
I like coming to sites, it keeps me out of the office, keeps the belly off and I've all the bruise. So yeah.
For some jobs, a modest rod will do the trick. But this one calls for the anaconda of hoses. And they have to haul the super sucker 160 feet into the field, piece by piece.
Look at it.
Easier said than done.
Under 5 by the end of the day. Gotta feel the burn, don't you?
He's the Iron Man of pipe work. The suction will come from the truck, 2 lengths of a swimming pool away.
Quite a long length, but we need to because we can't get the wagon anywhere near the manhole. It's just hard work setting up.
As the lads create a super snake section by section,
connect this up.
It's all hands on deck, even if you're the boss.
Lift and shift. Come on, Jono. Get your hands dirty, lad. Whoa! Too much. Pull it right. Timmy, to you.
Having manhandled their mega hose into position, next the jetting hose needs transporting to the manhole. Time for Neil to saddle up a mini wagon.
The machine on the trailer there, we take that into the field over the manhole. Obviously, you can't put the wagon on the field, that's a lot lighter. So that won't sink in the field. So if you leave the wagon on the concrete and that goes in there.
But even a dinky truck can do a whole lot of damage when things are this mucky. So the lads must lay metal mats for it to drive on.
This side, Neil. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
Trouble is, they only have 4, which turns a 10-second drive into a painful crawl, 10 feet at a time.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a slow process. yourself an operator?
Oh, you sell a road layer?
I know a road layer.
This could take a while. In the unpredictable Irish Sea off the Blackpool coast, an intrepid diving team has been trying to give an underwater pipe a routine scrub-up, but it's not an easy task.
It's amazing how strong current is, especially when you've got all that kit hanging off you.
The operation had to be aborted on day one,
Oh! Get off!
as low and fast-changing tides put them on a collision course with the pipe.
That's it. Where is it, mate?
It wasn't safe to continue, so we've stopped operations for the day.
But today they're back on the ocean waves, and dive supervisor Simon hopes this time it will be mission accomplished.
The weather's vastly improved from yesterday. It's flat calm, so it'll help us with our mooring up. The elements aren't against us for once, so we should do much better.
Back at the helm and hoping for smooth sailing is skipper Tim.
The wind was wrong, the swell was wrong, so positioning weren't 100% yesterday. Let's knock it on the head and start again another fresh day.
The pipe releases treated wastewater back into the ocean through diffusers, which need to be kept free of underwater debris and critters like barnacles, otherwise it could block up. First, Tim has to line up the boat in exactly the right spot.
Drop the anchor.
Don't use the engine. It's not easy. It's not like parking a car. Yep.
With the anchor dropped, now head diver John and backup diver Jake can get suited and booted. But for seafaring sewermen, it's more than just pulling on your high-vis and hat. They wear dry suits to keep them warm and, yes, dry, while they're meters down in the cold Irish Sea. And they carry some weighty breathing kit.
Push out. Exhale as hard as you can. There you go.
They're also kitted out with a light, camera and microphone to give the team back on board eyes and ears on the job.
That's secured in 1, 2, 3 pins with no visible O-ring showing.
And after the final safety checks,
Dry suit tips closed. Hat light function. Hat light function's working. Camera.
Camera's good.
Camera's good. Diver's ready for the water.
it's time for John to descend into the deep.
Diver's going to enter the water. The tide looks minimal here at the moment, but he will just assess it on the bottom of the ladder, and if it's all good to go, we'll carry on.
If John gets into difficulties, backup diver Jake's prepared to take the plunge after him.
It's unlikely anything's going to happen. The best way is just chill out, really, and if anything happens, they'll throw me in and I'll do whatever I need to do.
As John makes his way towards the underwater pipe, Simon's keeping tabs on his every move.
No visibility.
With rough seas having churned up the seabed, John's working virtually blindfolded.
Well, if I put my plate an inch away from it, I can just about make out something.
But he still manages to find the pipe.
The diver's located the structure underwater, but as you can see, no visibility whatsoever. This is our day-to-day work. It's just basically very slowly, meticulously, he's just going to feel his way around. The first thing he's doing is orientating himself, getting a feel for the structure, literally a feel for the structure. What does the structure feel like? Because he can't see anything. He'll be then doing an assessment of whether it needs cleaning.
These regular checks are vital to stop this massive outfall pipe from getting clogged up.
So where are we at then, John?
Yeah, this is a fair old size unit, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is, yeah.
I think I found the opening to it.
But after just 30 minutes, the team above water hit a snag.
It's supposed to be low water till 3.
The tides started to change earlier than predicted, causing a diver's nemesis, increased current.
I can feel this beginning to build around a little bit, the current. We'll have to call it, I think. Because I'm fighting a fair few bits of tangled steel down here as well.
That's understood. Right, we're calling it now then. So, stand by. Diver is now going to be turned to the boat. Start taking up slack.
The sudden change in current means John needs to get out of the water fast. But first, he's got to find his way through the darkness.
Okay, just keep on walking back. Follow your umbilical.
A diver's umbilical is his lifeline underwater, carrying his oxygen and keeping him connected to the boat above.
Keep on taking up slack.
As John emerges slowly from the murky depths,
Okay, we'll hold the umbilical tight and you can climb your umbilical, okay?